Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside, take a look outside our weather window, and a few clouds out there today. Really a nice day all across north central Washington. We had some lower clouds from an area of low pressure, some high clouds out there too, and just made for a really nice day all around. And as we take a look throughout the rest of at least midweek, thunderstorms. I'm sure you saw some of those clouds early this afternoon, and we're going to stay with that pattern into Wednesday. I think we'll see more widespread thunderstorms tomorrow. And then for Thursday, not ruling out a thunderstorm, but I think folks up in the Omak area do have a better chance for that. And we'll bring you all the weather information regarding those thunderstorms coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. The driver in a police chase that traveled around the Wenatchee Valley and over Blewett Pass in 2020 will serve 6 months in jail. Chelan County stands to gain about $1.3 million over the next 17 years to combat opioid abuse. And some sad news regarding the suicide awareness bus we recently featured here on our newscast. But first, our top story tonight, the man suspected of bringing 2 firearms to the gate of the Base Canyon Festival at the Gorge Amphitheater last weekend is now charged with 2 gross misdemeanors. Jonathan R. Moody, 31 years old, was charged in Douglas County District Court yesterday with possessing and displaying a dangerous weapon. He was also released yesterday after spending 2 days in the Grant County Jail. Witnesses told sheriff's deputies Moody armed himself with 2 handguns in the amphitheater parking lot outside the Electronic Music Festival, where firearms are forbidden. Deputies said his arrest may have prevented a possible mass shooting. However, Moody does not face any felony charges. The driver in a police chase that traveled around the Wenatchee Valley and over Blewett Pass in 2020 will serve 6 months in jail. 29-year-old Miles Barry Davis pleaded guilty yesterday to counts of second-degree theft and vehicle prowling. The Seattle man is free on bond and must report to jail in Chelan County by September 12th. In his plea, Barry admitted stealing items from parked cars in Wenatchee in December of 2020. When police responded, he fled in a rented Dodge minivan and was finally stopped by state troopers in Kittitas County. Barry still faces charges in Douglas County of fleeing police and hit and run. A passenger in his minivan pleaded guilty last year to possessing stolen property. Well, Chelan County stands to gain about $1.3 million over the next 17 years to combat opioid use. County commissioners yesterday signed an agreement on how to use a $430 million settlement between opioid distributors and the state of Washington. AmerisourceBergen, Cardinal Health, and McKesson will pay the state to settle claims that their drug marketing contributed to mass addiction. Cities and counties are in line for a total of about $215 million from that agreement. Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Susan Hinkle says Chelan County should receive about $80,000 a year starting in 2023, primarily to be used for local addiction treatment programs. Meanwhile, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan counties, as well as the cities within them, are still in line for their own shares. Well, 2 weeks ago, we introduced you to Corey Richey and the Suicide Awareness Bus, which stopped in Wenatchee on August 9th. The bus has traveled the country for almost 2 years. Well, on Saturday, the vehicle caught fire on Highway 101 outside Bay Center, Washington. Richey says the bus itself is a total loss, but he hopes to continue his mission of advocating against suicide and self-harm. If you or someone you know are struggling, we at NCWLIFE urge you to call the National Suicide Crisis Hotline by dialing 988. Well, when we come back, Douglas County said a staffing shortage will force the closure of the licensing office in Waterville today through September 5th. Confluence Health is renaming its facilities. We'll tell you about that. The Moses Lake Watershed Council will give a State of Our Lake presentation next month for people to learn about the lake's water quality. And the city of Wenatchee says it's a good thing the Okanagan Street Community Garden will be comprised of raised beds, given the number and size of large rocks in that area. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCWLIFE. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
It's a little scary at first, right? You're just throwing money out there hoping it comes back. And to see those results come back through and see people walk through the door and say, hey, saw your TV advertisement. Those are the kinds of things that you see the return on. And when you look at the cost spent, you know you're making a return on it. NCWLIFE really does a great job of exposing our brand and Succession wines to North Central Washington. There's a huge market here and market potential that NCWLIFE is able to help us capture, spread who we are, and tell the world about what Succession does, and they are a great avenue for that.
Welcome back. In another news, Douglas County said a staffing shortage will force the closure of the licensing office in Waterville today through September 5th. The licensing office, part of the Douglas County Auditor's Department, contracts with the state to provide access to Department of Licensing transactions, including license plates and tab renewals, disabled parking permits, and title transfers. The county said those services will remain available through private vendors in East Wenatchee, Chelan, and Wenatchee. Confluence Health is renaming its facilities. No more Central Washington Hospital. Instead, starting next summer, say hello to Confluence Health Hospital Central Campus. Change is also coming to the Wenatchee Valley Clinic on 9th Street. That site will be known as Confluence Health Hospital Mayor's Campus after founding physician Dr. L.M. Mayers. Confluence executives say the name change reflects the fact that the health system is one hospital with two locations. Confluence sites in Omak and Moses Lake will also be renamed as campuses. Dr. Andrew Jones, who recently took over as CEO for Confluence Health, says, quote, "We believe our new names will be easier for our patients to understand and show that both hospital locations are part of a unified system." The Moses Lake Watershed Council will give a State of Our Lake presentation next month for people to learn about the lake's water quality. Moses Lake has had issues with toxic algae blooms in recent years, and the Watershed Council will talk about what's being done to improve and protect the quality of the water. The meeting will be September 20th at 6:30 p.m. at Moses Lake City Hall. The Watershed Council said they're also interested in hearing suggestions and answering questions. The city of Wenatchee says it's a good thing the Okanagan Street Community Garden will be comprised of raised beds, given the number and size of large rocks in the area. City crews in recent days have been breaking up and hauling away those rocks so water lines can be installed. The City Council approved the project in March, with completion expected by next spring. When completed, the fence garden will feature 50 community garden plots, storage sheds, walkways, benches, and a shade pavilion. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, I'm Kerry Condata, host of the 12th District TV show right here on the NCWLIFE channel. We're available 5 times a week on air and also at ncwlife.com streaming. You can even find our archives for older shows. We cover business and politics like nobody else. From an insider's perspective, someone that's been self-employed for 30 years and in the legislature for 16 years. You'll get it all right here every week on the 12th District. Won't you join us?
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020. Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. An accounting error means the Wenatchee School District may need to cut staffing and expenses even deeper than it planned for its upcoming budget years. Interim Superintendent Bill Eagle says district staff discovered the error in June, which took $9 million in COVID-related CARES Act funding that was due to expire and carried it forward to the 2022-2023 school year. In tonight's feature story, Eagle says the impact of the error means decisions about staffing were made without a full financial picture.
Our decreasing enrollment trends have indicated a need to decrease staffing. You can see, again, an adjustment in staffing was made between 18-19 and 19-20. However, the influx of CARES dollars in the past few years have helped with things like technology and materials needed for COVID protocols, but it also provided an opportunity to add staffing during COVID. And while this has helped keep class sizes smaller and provided additional support for things like behavior and learning recovery efforts, ultimately the federal COVID funds are not sustainable dollars and will mostly be spent out in the 22-23 year. Additional staff were added in the past 3 years with some of those dollars to keep class sizes smaller and provide needed supports for behavior and learning recovery efforts. It is also my understanding that after staffing decisions were made for the upcoming school year, 22-23, during the budget review process in June, a tracking error related to a budgeted CARES revenue source was discovered. This was discovered in between the June 14th budget presentation and the June 28th budget presentation provided to the board. which means the error was discovered about a week before my official start as the interim superintendent. The tracking error was in a budgeted amount. It was a budgeted revenue source from the 21-22 school year that was carried forward into the 22-23 budget and should not have been. This error was in budgeted amounts and not actual amounts, but it gave the appearance that the budget was in a much stronger position than it actually was at the time staffing decisions for the 22-23 school year were being made last spring. Prior to my stepping into this role, the fiscal department put in place some internal controls to ensure that type of budgeted tracking error does not happen again, and I'm confident that it will not.
Let's take a check now of your North Central Washington weather forecast, and I hope you had a great Tuesday. It's hard to believe that summer is winding down, isn't it? First day of school tomorrow for the Eastmont School District, and boy, that means kind of the end of summer, doesn't it? Beautiful summer day today, though, as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley. This is from our Jump-Off Ridge Sky-Fi Tower camera. You can see Wenatchee Heights right here, beautiful Columbia River, and a few clouds out there today. Boy, when the sun was behind those clouds, it was almost perfect out there. We did manage to get to 92 unofficially today. That's still 7 degrees above where we should be at 85 for this time of year. Record high going back to 1970, 101 our record high. 68 was our low this morning. That's still way above where we should be for lows at 61. How about that chilly overnight low record, 42 degrees set in 1992. No new precipitation, and we haven't talked precipitation in almost 2.5 months now, other than just some sprinkles here and there. 5.76 is where we still stand, and that's total precip from January 1st to now. Sunrise this morning, 6:08, and the sun sets tonight at 7:58. Taking a look now at your Hump Day Wednesday temperatures. Going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, a lot like today. We will see those clouds roll in and maybe some thunderstorms in our area tomorrow. 95, that's supposed to be for Moses Lake. 95 in Ephrata, about 94 for Quincy, 93 in the Wenatchee area, and then a little bit cooler up in the higher elevations, 91 in Leavenworth. One of the warmer spots, as always, up in Omak tomorrow with a high forecast for 94 degrees. Tonight, we will see mostly clear skies. This high pressure off the coast has been here literally for about 3 months. That's anchoring another high that's bringing that warmth our way. 70 degrees our overnight low for tonight. For Wednesday then, mostly sunny skies. This area of low pressure, what's bringing those clouds into the Intermountain West, and that could trigger some thunderstorms right here for us tomorrow afternoon. So keep your eye on the sky with high temperatures, mainly again in the lower 90s. For Thursday, partly cloudy, thunderstorms definitely a possibility, and that means up in the Omak area, Winthrop and Twisp, high temperatures, low 90s. Yesterday, by the way, Winthrop and Twisp in that area, over an inch of rain in a very short period of time. For Friday, mostly sunny. We'll see some breezy conditions on Friday with highs again sticking in those lower 90s. And then by the time the weekend rolls in, look at this big northwesterly flow. That is going to cool us off both days this weekend. We'll see high temperatures on Saturday, back down into the mid 80s where we should be for this time of year. And then for Sunday, another nice one. Sunshine all around for us for Sunday. We'll see mild temperatures with highs on Sunday in the mid to upper 80s. So very comfortable weekend ahead. And then for Monday, kicking off our next work week, we will see sunny skies and we're going to warm back up. We're going to see highs on Monday in the lower 90s. But boy, I look past Monday to about Wednesday and Thursday, we could be dropping to highs of about 80 by midweek next week. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Overnight tonight, we'll drop down to 68. We're going to keep those thunderstorm threat in our forecast both Wednesday and Thursday. About a 20% chance of scattered thunderstorms. 93 the high both days. 92 for Friday. And look at those temperatures this weekend. Mostly sunny and cooler on Saturday. It's supposed to be 85 degrees, I believe. 62 our overnight low. That's going to feel good. 87 for Sunday. And by the time we get to Monday, sunny and warmer with a high temperature then of 92. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in north central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Watch Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Find out about programs and activities for ages 50 and over, and meet amazing seniors who contribute to our community. New episodes Sundays at 1:30 p.m., replayed throughout the week on the NCWLIFE channel. Get your body moving. Tune in for Vibrant Motion, featuring low-impact aerobics hosted by Connie Townsend. These workouts are great for all ages. Vibrant Motion, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, weekdays on the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE really does a great job of exposing our brand. It's a little scary at first, right? You're just throwing money out there hoping it comes back. And to see those results come back through and see people walk through the door and say, hey, saw your TV advertisement. Those are the kinds of things that you see the return on. And when you look at the cost spent, you know you're making a return on it. There's a huge market here and market potential, and they are a great avenue for that.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
The NCWLIFE channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCWLIFE channel today.
And now it's a Sports It on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. The Seahawks are still in a quandary about their starting quarterback. Drew Lock was supposed to start against Chicago last week, but came down with COVID. He finally returned to practice on Sunday, and Coach Pete Carroll says his evaluation of Lock continues.
Yeah, this was really frustrating for him. You know, I mean, here was his day, and he just felt terrible on the practice field, you know, and that was his day to start and get going with all the guys and all that, and the regular practice schedule, the one day we had in that week. And he couldn't finish the post-practice work. It was a mess. So that's a shame. And so we're I still need to see him play and need to see him fit in with our guys and all that. He's done really well till now. That opportunity was going to be a big one, even though I knew that the preparation for it wasn't great. Just wasn't adequate for the prep that your guy wants for his first chance to start a game, but. We'll see how he goes this week, and he'll planning on playing a lot this week. Yeah, he'll play a lot.
Carroll contends he'll use Friday's final preseason game and practices over the next several weeks before choosing a starting quarterback. He says he feels no pressure to make that decision just yet.
I don't think that there's any date pressure on me at all in that regard. Yeah, I think you're right on that, Greg. That I'm going to take the time it takes to figure it out and make sure that we have all the information that we need. I got to wait and see what happens on this game. I don't know, So. Gino's done a good job, and Gino needs a little more help from some guys. The guys need to catch the football for him a little bit better, but he's handled it well. And you got to go back. Drew he's had 3 drives. He had two touchdown drives, so he's put some stuff on the resume out there. So we'll see what happens this week. Excuse me, and we do have really, really good weeks of practice coming up. This week is a great one. Next week is a great one, and the one after is a great one. So we'll use all of that if we need it.
On the injury front, Seattle got good news about the injury sustained in the Chicago game by Damian Lewis. Coach Carroll says it's a lot better scenario than they originally thought.
It's a kind of a basketball ankle sprain, and so that's a really positive thing. That it's the swelling that he's going to deal with. So there's no torn ligaments or any of that stuff. So, but it doesn't mean he's immediately popping back. But it's not going to be a long time. It's not like a high ankle sprain that lingers forever.
Will Dissly is now in his 5th season with the Seahawks at tight end. He says fans shouldn't panic about what they've seen from the offense so far.
No, our offense is growing. I think that's a great way to describe it. Obviously, the production on the field during the first preseason games hasn't been up to our standard, but that's a lot of mix and match. And so I think, as we grow and get some more continuity, you're going to see the puzzles fit together real nice. I'm not worried one bit. Amazing to see these young guys grow and learn the offense and get better and continue to grind here in the dog days of camp. It's, the growth is exponential, so it's going to start slow, and then you're going to see a big production towards game 1.
By the way, Will Dissly was asked about pound for pound who's the best athlete on the team. He said Darrell Taylor. He says, but also he looks at more than just being able to play football and lift weights. You have to be able to play cornhole. On the defensive side of the ball, Jordan Brooks has taken over as defensive captain for Bobby Wagner. He says new defensive coordinator Clint Hurt is really bringing the guys together.
Coach Hurt, he's a great guy, great coach. I think the biggest thing from him is accountability, holding everybody accountable, coaching everybody in the room, making sure everybody's on one accord. I think the biggest thing he's been pushing is, guys sticking together, being together so that we can play together. And I think he's been doing a great job of that so far.
Seattle's final preseason game is Friday in Dallas. Kicks off at 5 o'clock. You can watch all the action on King 5 out of Seattle. Following the game, the Seahawks will have to cut another 27 players to get down to the 53-man roster limit. That's by next Tuesday. Well, the Mariners are back home after a 9-game road trip in which they went 5-4. Seattle will host the Washington Nationals at T-Mobile Park beginning at 7:10 on Root Sports Northwest. Robbie Ray will take the ball for the Mariners against the Nationals' Eric Fetty. Now, Seattle and Washington play once more tomorrow before Cleveland comes to town to begin a 4-game set on Thursday. Mariners and Astros were off yesterday, but everybody else in the American League West played. Randy Rosarina's solo home run in the bottom of the 5th was the difference as Tampa Bay beat the Angels 2-1. Texas topped Minnesota 2-1 on Corey Seager's RBI single in the top of the 6th inning. Edward Cabrera and Tanner Scott combined on a 3-hit shutout of Oakland as Miami topped the A's 3-0. Well, the Tampa Bay's win over Los Angeles gives the Rays a half-game lead over Seattle and Toronto in the American League wild card chase. Baltimore was idle and remains 2.5 games back. Minnesota's loss to Texas puts the Twins 3 games out. Kansas City topped the White Sox 6-4, so Chicago drops to 4 games out in that wild card race. It's going to be interesting here over the next month plus. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And a reminder before we let you go tonight, thunderstorms are in our forecast, especially for you viewers around the Chelan, Pateros area and north. This is the area in blue that we're keeping our eye on, not only tonight, but also tomorrow and again on Thursday. Once again, those thunderstorms on Wednesday will be more widespread. I think that will be over most of our viewing area tomorrow. And then on Thursday, it's more up around the Omak, Winthrop, and Twisp area for thunderstorms. Omak, as I mentioned yesterday, picked up over an inch of rain, and those systems and that storm system will once again develop again tomorrow and again on Thursday. So keep your eye on the sky if you are outside. And that'll do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us, and have a great night. News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
Looking for the latest news on flying cars, robots, or space travel? The vehicle exploded on the landing pad. Tune in to your weekly tech update with Ray McNeil. New episodes Mondays at 8:30 p.m. on the NCWLIFE channel.
Be sure to tune in each weeknight for sports during the NCWLIFE Evening News. If it's the Mariners, the Seahawks, or any of our local teams, I'll be sure to cover the latest right here on the NCWLIFE channel.